There's a specific kind of violence society reserves for people who are content alone. Not physical violence, something quieter, something they can deny. Social warfare. And here's what nobody tells you. The people waging this war aren't strangers. They're 9 specific types who see your peaceful solitude and feel compelled to punish it. Picture this. You're at a company lunch. Everyone's gathered around the big table, talking, laughing, performing connection. You're sitting slightly apart, eating peacefully, not miserable, not excluded by choice, just comfortable in the quiet. A coworker notices, walks over. "Why are you sitting alone? Come join us." You smile. "I'm good here, thanks." Their face changes, not acceptance, something colder. That afternoon, you overhear them in the break room. "I tried to include them, but they just want to sit alone. It's kind of weird, honestly." By the next day, 3 people have mentioned they're worried about you. By the end of the week, you're no longer getting invites to team lunches, not because you're disliked, because you're being punished for being content alone. Here's what just happened. You committed the unforgivable social crime. You demonstrated that you don't need their inclusion to be okay. And instead of respecting that autonomy, they launched a coordinated punishment campaign disguised as concern. This is social warfare, and these 9 types are expert soldiers. What makes this warfare so effective is its deniability. They're not attacking you, they're worried about you. They're not excluding you, they're giving you space since you clearly want it. They're not gossiping, they're expressing concern. Every act of punishment is wrapped in plausible deniability, which means when you call it out, you look paranoid. When you resist, you look defensive. The perfect crime. Let's start with type 1, the inclusion enforcer. This person has decided that group participation is mandatory, and your contentment outside the group is a personal insult to their social order. They don't just invite you, they demand your presence. And when you decline, they don't accept it, they punish it. They approach you before every social event. "You're coming to happy hour, right?" You decline politely. "Not this time, but thanks." Watch their face. That's not disappointment, that's offense. "Come on, everyone's going." You hold your boundary. "I appreciate it, but I'm going to pass." They walk away, and the punishment begins immediately. At the next team meeting, they're distributing information everyone got at happy hour, except you. "Oh, we talked about that at drinks. Guess you weren't there." In group chats, there are inside jokes from the gathering. You're not excluded explicitly, you're just reminded constantly that you missed out. Colleagues mention how fun it was, how everyone was there, how you really should have come. The message is clear. Your absence has consequences. Your choice to be alone will cost you socially and professionally. Here's the warfare tactic. They've made inclusion conditional. Participate in group activities or be systematically excluded from the informal networks where real connection and information flow. You're not officially punished. There's no HR complaint to file about not being invited to optional social events, but the punishment is real. You're slowly isolated from the social currency that makes work bearable and advancement possible. And when you point this out, they act confused. "We're just disappointed you never want to hang out." We're not excluding you, you're excluding yourself. They've made your punishment your fault. Type 2 is the concern troll. This person has weaponized worry. They frame every act of punishment as care, every boundary violation as intervention, every social attack as them trying to help you. And the beauty of their tactic is that you can't defend against concern without looking ungrateful or mentally unwell. You've been content keeping to yourself. They notice. They start asking questions. "Is everything okay at home?" You're confused. "Yeah, everything's fine." They don't accept this. "You just seem really withdrawn lately. Have you thought about talking to someone?" You explain you're naturally introverted. You're actually very happy. You just prefer smaller doses of social interaction. They nod with that look, that concerned, knowing, pitying look. I hear you. I just think it's important to be honest with yourself about whether you're actually happy or just avoiding something. Here's where it gets insidious. They start telling others about their concern. I'm really worried about them. They're isolating themselves and they won't admit anything's wrong. Suddenly, multiple people are approaching you with the same worried energy. Hey, just checking in. Someone mentioned you might be going through something. You're not going through anything except choosing solitude. But now you're managing everyone's concern, defending your mental health, proving you're okay. The punishment isn't direct, it's the exhausting burden of constantly reassuring people who've decided your contentment is actually concealed suffering. And here's the genius of this warfare. If you get frustrated with the constant concern, that becomes more evidence something's wrong. See, they're getting defensive. That's exactly what someone in denial does. If you maintain your boundaries, that's concerning withdrawal. If you over-explain, that's protesting too much. Every response is used against you. The concern troll has created a framework where your contentment can only be interpreted as pathology, and any resistance to their intervention confirms the diagnosis. You're trapped. Accept their concern and validate that something's wrong, or reject it and prove something's wrong by your defensiveness. Either way, you're punished for being content alone. If this is hitting close to home, hit subscribe. Content that exposes social warfare against loners gets buried by algorithms. Your subscription really helps the channel. Type 3. The Gossip Weaponizer. This person understands that reputation is social currency, and they're willing to spend yours to punish your independence. They don't attack you directly, they just talk about you in ways that slowly poison how others perceive you. You chose to skip a group outing. No drama, just not your thing. The gossip weaponizer is there and they notice your absence. In the group, they bring it up. Too bad they couldn't make it. They're always so busy. There's a tone. Others pick up on it. Yeah, they never come to anything. The gossip weaponizer adds fuel. I invited them personally. They said they were tired on a Saturday night. Eyebrows raise. The seed is planted. Next gathering, someone else mentions, I wonder what they do all weekend if they're always too tired to hang out. The narrative is building. Within a few cycles of this, you're no longer just the person who prefers solitude. You're the person who thinks they're too good for everyone. You're the person who's probably depressed. You're the person who's antisocial. You're the person who's going through something they won't talk about. None of this is true, but truth doesn't matter in social warfare. What matters is the story being told about you in your absence, and the gossip weaponizer is an expert storyteller. They never say anything overtly cruel. They just ask questions that plant doubt. Do you think they're okay? Have you noticed they never want to hang out? I'm not judging, I'm just concerned. Every question is a missile aimed at your reputation. Here's the warfare tactic. They've made your absence a narrative about your character. And because you're not there to defend yourself, the narrative spreads unchallenged. By the time you hear about it, the damage is done. People have formed opinions. They've decided you're standoffish or struggling or weird. And when you try to correct the record, you look defensive. The gossip weaponizer has successfully punished your solitude by making it social proof of your defects. And they did it all while maintaining plausible deniability. They were just expressing concern, just wondering aloud, just trying to understand, never attacking, just destroying your reputation, one worried question at a time. Type 4 is the exclusion punisher. This person takes your choice to be alone sometimes and turns it into you being alone all the time. They stop inviting you. They stop including you. They frame it as respecting your preference, but it's actually punishment for having a preference at all. You declined a few invitations because you genuinely needed alone time. The exclusion punisher noticed. They stop asking. When the next event comes up, you're not invited. You hear about it after. "Oh, we figured you wouldn't want to come. You never do." You explain you don't always decline, you just need to choose when you have the energy. They shrug. "We just didn't want to bother you." But here's what's really happening. They've decided that if you won't participate on their terms every time with enthusiasm, then you don't get to participate at all. It's all or nothing, and they've chosen nothing for you. The punishment escalates. You're left out of group chats. "We thought you wanted space." You're not included in planning. You always say you're busy anyway. Important information doesn't reach you. We assumed someone told you. Every exclusion is justified by your previous boundaries. They've taken your reasonable need for selective socializing and weaponized it into total isolation. And when you point this out, they act like they were doing you a favor. "We thought that's what you wanted. You're always turning us down." The warfare is complete. They've transformed your autonomy into isolation and made it look like your choice. Type 5. The passive-aggressive punisher. This person never attacks directly. They use subtle digs, pointed comments, and plausible deniability to make you feel the cost of your solitude without ever explicitly stating they're upset about it. You walk into the break room. They're there with others. "Oh, look, they're actually socializing today. Should we take a picture?" Everyone laughs. You're supposed to laugh too. It's just a joke, right? Except it's not. It's a punishment disguised as humor. You share an accomplishment. They respond, "Wow, you actually came out of your cave long enough to do something." More laughter, more punishment. You set a boundary about after-work plans. They sigh loudly. "Of course, we knew you'd say no." The disdain is palpable but deniable. Here's what makes this warfare so effective. You can't call it out without looking oversensitive. If you say, "That comment hurt," they act shocked. "I was just joking. Why are you so defensive?" If you point out the pattern, you're accused of reading too much into things. "You're being paranoid. We're just teasing." But it's not teasing. It's systematic punishment. Every joke is a reminder that your solitude is noticed, judged, and found wanting. Every sigh is a marker of your social failing. Every pointed comment is a missile designed to make you feel bad about being content alone. And because it's all wrapped in humor and delivered with a smile, they maintain total deniability. You're not being attacked, you're being included in the joke. The fact that you're always the punchline is just coincidence. Type 6 is the silent treatment dealer. This person punishes your independence by withdrawing all warmth, all friendliness, all connection. They don't explain, they just go cold. And the message is clear. Your solitude has consequences, and those consequences include the loss of their regard. You set a boundary. You need a weekend to yourself. You can't make their event. You're choosing solitude over their invitation. They say okay, but they're not okay. You can feel it in the shift. Messages get shorter. K. Responses get slower. Hours instead of minutes. In person, they're polite but cold. No warmth, no eye contact, no effort. You try to engage normally. They give you nothing back. Conversations die. Invitations stop. They've gone cold, and they're not explaining why, which means you're left wondering what you did wrong. Here's the warfare. The silent treatment dealer has made you responsible for figuring out their displeasure and fixing it. They won't tell you directly that they're upset about your boundary, because that would make them look controlling. Instead, they just withdraw all positive regard and wait for you to come crawling back, apologizing for choosing yourself, promising to be more available, more social, more compliant. The punishment is the coldness. The reward for ending the punishment is giving up your autonomy. It's operant conditioning applied to social control, and it works because humans are wired to seek warmth and connection. The withdrawal of that warmth creates anxiety. and that anxiety pushes you to do whatever it takes to restore the relationship, even if that means sacrificing your need for solitude. Type 7. The guilt manipulator. This person makes your solitude about their pain. They don't attack your choice to be alone, they just make you feel terrible about how much your choice hurts them. Every boundary becomes an emotional wound you've inflicted. You explain you need time alone. Their face falls. Oh, okay. I just thought we were closer than that. You explain it's not about them, it's about your need to recharge. They nod sadly. No, I get it. You need your space. I'll be fine. The guilt is immediate. You try to reassure them. They wave it off bravely. Really, it's fine. I'm used to people not having time for me. Now you feel like a monster. You're not choosing solitude, you're abandoning them. You're not setting a healthy boundary, you're inflicting emotional pain. Here's the tactic. They've made your autonomy an act of cruelty. Every time you choose yourself, you're hurting someone who cares about you. Every boundary is a wound. Every moment of solitude is evidence that you don't value the relationship as much as they do. And the only way to prove you care is to sacrifice your needs for theirs. Give up your alone time. Show up when you're exhausted. Prioritize their need for your presence over your need for peace. That's the price of not being a bad person. The guilt manipulator has successfully weaponized your empathy against your autonomy, and because they never directly demand anything, they just feel hurt. You can't call it manipulation without looking callous. They're not controlling you, they're just sad. And if you care about them, you'll stop making them sad, which means you'll stop being alone. Type 8 is the public shamer. This person punishes your solitude by making it a public spectacle. They call attention to your absence, your quietness, your independence in ways designed to make you feel exposed and judged by everyone watching. You're in a group setting. You're comfortable being quiet, observing, not performing. The public shamer notices, "Why are you so quiet over there? Cat got your tongue?" All eyes turn to you. You're suddenly on the spot, expected to explain or entertain. You deflect. They don't let it go. "Come on, say something. We're all wondering what you're thinking." The pressure intensifies. Later, when discussing weekend plans, they announce to everyone, "Don't bother inviting them, they never come anyway." You're not given a chance to respond. Your preference for selective socializing has been announced as a character trait for public judgment. Here's what makes this warfare so brutal. It uses social pressure and public humiliation to punish your autonomy. The public shamer knows that most people fear judgment and embarrassment. By making your solitude a public topic, by calling attention to your quietness or your absence in front of others, they've weaponized your natural desire to not be the center of negative attention. The punishment is the spotlight. The price of avoiding that spotlight is performing the level of engagement they demand. Be louder, be more social, attend everything. Never sit quietly, because if you do, they'll call you out and everyone will watch you squirm. It's social conditioning through public humiliation, and it's devastatingly effective because humans are tribal creatures who fear ostracism. The public shamer uses that fear to control behavior. And finally, type 9, the relationship threatener. This person makes it clear that your solitude is incompatible with maintaining the relationship. They frame it as an ultimatum: change or lose them. Be more available or watch the relationship end. Your contentment alone is positioned as choosing solitude over choosing them. You've been maintaining boundaries about your need for alone time. They've been getting increasingly frustrated. Finally, they explode. "I can't do this anymore. You're never available. You're always choosing to be alone over spending time with me. I need someone who actually wants to be around people." You try to explain you do want connection, just in measured doses. They shake their head. "That's not enough. I need more. So you need to decide. Are you going to make an effort, or are we done? Here's the warfare. They've made your autonomy a referendum on the entire relationship. It's not about finding balance or compromise. It's about you changing or losing them. And because most people fear loss, this threat often works. You start sacrificing your alone time. You show up exhausted to events. You push past your limits to prove you care. You slowly erase your own needs to maintain the relationship. And here's what's insidious. It works temporarily, but it breeds resentment. You're not actually closer, you're just more drained. They're not actually happy, they're just getting compliance. The relationship doesn't improve, it just becomes hostage to their demands and your exhaustion. But the relationship threatener doesn't care about health, they care about control, and the threat of loss is their weapon. Either you give up your solitude or you give up the relationship. There's no third option where you get to be yourself and keep them. That's the punishment, and it's designed to make you choose wrong. Here's what connects all 9 types. They've decided that your contentment alone is unacceptable, and they're willing to wage social warfare to punish it. The inclusion enforcer excludes you for not participating enough. The concern troll pathologizes your peace. The gossip weaponizer destroys your reputation. The exclusion punisher isolates you completely. The passive-aggressive punisher chips away at your confidence. The silent treatment dealer withdraws all warmth. The guilt manipulator weaponizes your empathy. The public shamer humiliates you into compliance. The relationship threatener makes you choose between yourself and them. Every tactic is different, but the goal is the same. Punish you until you stop being content alone. Punish you until you need them the way they need you to need them. And here's why this warfare is so effective. It's deniable. They're not attacking you, they're worried about you. They're not excluding you, you excluded yourself. They're not gossiping, they're expressing concern. They're not giving you the silent treatment, they're giving you the space you asked for. They're not manipulating, they're just hurt. They're not shaming you, they're joking around. They're not threatening you, they're just being honest about their needs. Every act of warfare is wrapped in plausible justification, which means when you call it out, you look paranoid, oversensitive, ungrateful, the perfect crime. Social warfare that leaves no evidence except your exhaustion and your slowly eroding sense that being content alone is allowed. Psychologists call this social punishment, the systematic use of social consequences to shape behavior toward compliance with group norms. It's relentless. Because you're violating a fundamental social rule. You're supposed to need connection. You're supposed to fear being alone. You're supposed to work hard to maintain social bonds. And when you don't, when you demonstrate that you can be genuinely happy in your own company, you become a threat to everyone who's exhausting themselves maintaining connections they don't actually want. Your contentment is proof that all their effort might be optional, and they can't let that stand. So they wage war, not with weapons, with concern and exclusion and gossip and coldness and guilt and shame and threats, with every social tool at their disposal. And here's the cruelest part, they genuinely believe they're right. The inclusion enforcer genuinely believes group participation is necessary for well-being. The concern troll genuinely believes your solitude is dysfunction. The gossip weaponizer genuinely believes they're just worried. The exclusion punisher genuinely believes they're respecting your boundaries. The passive-aggressive punisher genuinely believes they're just teasing. The silent treatment dealer genuinely believes you've hurt them and deserve the cold shoulder. The guilt manipulator genuinely believes your boundaries wound them. The public shamer genuinely believes they're trying to include you. The relationship threatener genuinely believes relationships require constant availability. They're not consciously waging warfare, They're just enforcing what they believe are the rules of social engagement, which makes them impossible to reason with, because from their perspective, they're not the problem, you are. Your contentment alone is the dysfunction, your boundaries are the wound, your peace is the pathology. So if you're the content loner who's been on the receiving end of this warfare, who's been punished for choosing solitude, who's been exhausted by the constant social consequences of being okay alone, know this: their warfare isn't about you, it's about them, about their discomfort with your independence, about their need to believe connection requires constant availability, about their inability to tolerate that you've found peace they haven't found. Every punishment they deliver, the exclusion, the concern trolling, the gossip, the isolation, the passive aggression, the coldness, the guilt, the shame, the threats, all of it is their discomfort weaponized, not your dysfunction, their fear of what your contentment represents. Stay content, not because the warfare will stop, it won't, because your peace will always threaten those who haven't found their own. Stay content because you've discovered something worth defending, that you can be genuinely happy in your own company, that solitude is peace, not punishment, that independence is strength, not dysfunction, and that their warfare, no matter how systematic, no matter how deniable, no matter how exhausting, doesn't get to take that away from you. Let them wage their war. You've already won by finding peace they're too afraid to seek.